Hello, it's Crinkle Man Gaming. Recently retired, and one of the things I've been enjoying doing is rediscovering my childhood comic collection. Selling off a few of the things I'm no longer interested in, buying some more stuff I'm more interested in, and during that process I discovered the pricing tools are not that great. I have a technical background, so I thought it would be fun retirement project to try out applying some data analytics and machine learning techniques that I used to use in my job to comics. So I thought maybe some folks would be interested in joining me on that journey. Today's video, I bought some comics. I can unbox them, see what I got in various auctions, see what my very first iteration of my machine learning algorithm says they're worth, see how that compares with the more traditional online tools for evaluating the price of comics. So we'll see. Should be fun. All right, big box here. Never done anything like this, so forgive me for my poor unboxing skills. All right, this box is from my comic shop. I like to, whether I'm doing eBay or one of the other auction sites, buy a bunch at a time from the same place if I can to get combined shipping. Because I don't get a lot of opportunity to buy in person. And since I'm not really into super expensive books or anything, a large part of the expense would be shipping, which is really inefficient. Given that at some point in my collecting process, I want to reach an equilibrium where I am selling as many as I'm buying, so I don't have the collection take over the entire house. Might be fun for a little while, but I wear on the wife eventually. All right, let's see what we got. Oh my. All right, this first chunk of comics is cheap books. So I'm gonna maybe hold off on these for a little bit. We can open them at the end. They're hard to evaluate, kind of raw lower end books, because I'm running into the same problem the online comic evaluation sites have, which is you don't have a lot of data available on the price that these books go for. So let's see, for example, I got a collection of Thor comics here, starting with Thor 474. Now, I think of this as in the category people call dollar book or something, but you go on to one of the traditional comic sites and they're not getting data from dollar comic book sales. So as I pick up some of these less expensive books, which still fun for me to have, I enjoy it, particularly if it's from the era that I collected comics from. I'll be able to enter them into my machine learning algorithm and do a better job of evaluating the price of lower comics. But I might put a video if people are interested out on kind of what early results are on the lower value comics. All right. But we'll mostly concentrate on the slabs. Let's see what I got here. Now I'm not going for necessarily high-end books, just ones that looked like they would be a good deal. And that were ones that I would enjoy keeping if they turn out to not be easy to resell, or if I just feel I need it for the personal collection. All right, the first one we got here. Daredevil 19. Which is fun. Fun comic for me. Yeah. Daredevil is one of the very first comics I ever got exposed to at my grandmother's house. Some early stuff. Alright, so this book cost me $32. Boy, that's a squeezed up picture on the screen. Anyway, this book, $32. Adjusted price was $36.83. Adjusted price includes things like tax and shipping costs and stuff, which I amortize across the comic books weighted by the price of the book. All right, it's grade 6, and my algorithm says that is worth $34.98, and I'm comparing it to two online sites, Cover Price and Price Chart. So 34, that's in the ballpark, pretty reasonable. The other sites say it's more valuable than that. Let's just take a look. I quasi-automatically generated charts for the price of the book in slab and non-slab form according to both sites and my algorithm. So let's see. The green line here is cover price. So you can see some annoying characteristics from my perspective anyway of the cover price evaluation, and that sometimes the value goes down as the grade goes up. And that's because of the, I think they're drawing data almost solely from sales of that one individual book. And there's just not enough data almost ever to do a reasonable job, in my perspective, of evaluating comics just looking at it. So my algorithm looks at the entire universe of comics and tries to make conclusions from that. And I could imagine first versions not coming out very well, because that kind of process takes a while to get right. But I think ultimately it has more potential. But pretty reasonable for my algorithm right now at that grade. Price chart slab, roughly correlated, and in the yellow, and the thick blue is my slab from the cranky machine learning. And basically, I think slabs are worth a little less than they do up until we get high grade. So I'm closing the gap. Oh, we're about even there. It's hard to say because there's bounce around oddly. Like you can see that the price chart also goes down between 9.2 and 9.4, and stays down on 9.6 and then pops up at 9.8. Huh. All right, so that's the first book. Oh, and it looks like the glitch, and I don't have the raw values populated. Hopefully that's not true for the rest, because that's interesting stuff to look at too. All right. What do we got for this next book here? Daredevil 19. I kind of can't believe you can get a Daredevil 19 for, you know, $35, because it's not that much more than it would cost to slab, and it's less than it would cost to slab and press and slab, or whatever, clean, those kind of things. Really Daredevil. Huh. I guess it's not a key. Everyone's so into keys nowadays. I'm not quite as key focused. I like to collect whole runs. And I like the slabs because I do all my comic reading online anyway, so I don't have to soil the books. Alright, this next book, we got a Thor from 1984 Thor, number 341. I don't know. Alright. Here we go. See how the old algorithms say. So this is a minor key. There's a crossover appearance of Superman as Clark Kent. So that's fun. I think I've read that when I was a kid, but I haven't read it since. I should relook at that. My algorithm does take into account keys. It gets information from a key collector, I guess. Yeah, so I auto-populate, well, quasi-auto-populate with information there. But if it's just marked a key, it's treated the same in the algorithm right now. So I have to manually indicate if books are special keys. And so this is just in the general minor key category. All right. So I bought this book for $15, taking into account shipping and everything. It cost $17.26. So much cheaper than it would cost a slab. So it seems ridiculous to me that you can buy slabs that cheap. And I think it's fun to have a slab, man. I'm not as worried about damaging it. It displays nicely. It's fun. The big disadvantage in my mind is they take up way more room, so you don't get to have as many books in the same space when you're storing them. All right, 9.4. Now, if we take a look at what the thick blue line here, that's the valuation by the Cranky Machine Learning. And you can see that the data indicates slab is worth less than $9 for almost all these low values, or less than $10 anyway. Then it starts going up a little bit. It's hitting $12.71 by the time we get to 9.4, and then right here, and then it takes a big jump to 9.6 and 9.8. So I guess that's what people would consider collectible. It's weird to me that there's such a big difference between 9.4 and 9.6, and that anything below a 9.4 is very similar. All right, how does it compare to the other? Let's see, price chart. All right, it is even lower until you get up to a 6. Then we agree. Then it starts going up, which makes sense to me. And then it has this weird dip. Just not enough data for it to be sensible. I do like that mine is not ever going down. I'll keep an eye out for that. All right, and cover price. The nice thing about cover price is it'll auto-populate Comic Connect. So that's fun, but it's less fun if you can't rely on the prices. And it only has this one little dot. It doesn't have a value for anything other than a 9.8 slab. Not enough data, I guess. And it has it at 49. So my machine learning and price chart pretty much agree. And cover price thinks it's a lot less. My instinct is actually maybe cover price is right. It seems to me, just my intuition based on going through all these auction sites is that these minor keys are not that much more valuable than a non-key. And this is not an old enough book at 1984 to really command a large price. But, you know, somewhere in between might be reasonable, is my intuition. All right, so basically my algorithm says I overpaid for this book. It's worth $12.71. I paid $17.26, considering everything. And price chart thinks that I got a slightly good deal. All right, next one. Yeah, a lot of fun for me is going to be in playing with my algorithm. So playing with the books and playing with the algorithm both can be fun. I'm not looking to make a giant profit by exploiting superior pricing or anything like that. I just want to not lose too much money while I enjoy the hobby. Because even if the algorithm is ends up giving me an edge in the end of the day, since I'm dealing with cheap books, the percentage of cost that goes into shipping makes it hard to make money off this kind of thing. And if I was interested in making money, I would be working my normal job instead of retiring. Oh, that's a beautiful cover. All right, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. This is a Fantastic Four, 387 from 1994. It's a collector's edition, newsstand, and you won't be able to tell really, but it's got this really shiny outline. I think this might look good on my wall in the basement. I buy books where I enjoy the story, and so when I look at it, it brings back good memories from that, or I just like the cover. This cover is great. All right, a 9.6 Fantastic Four 387. All right, this is a candidate for the. Should put this in a special place. Candidate for the wall. I'm not putting all my most expensive books on there on display. I just kind of have a rotation, doing a rotation of books that I just like to look at. Okay, this book cost me $15. Crazy again, that you can get a slab, like a 9.6 even. That is 20, what is that, 1994? 30 years old. I mean, everyone, it's modern, but it's 30 years old. So adjusted price was $15, just $17.26. And we'll see. My line is flatter for the slab price than, and it only goes up. I wonder if it's kind of just a slightly newer book at 9.6. This is what I got to that. And it says worth $18.22 according to my algorithm. Price chart says $43.16. It again has this super weird dip. My goodness. Yeah, as far as I can tell, all of the pricing services do this weird thing where they're only taking into account the data from the sale of that specific book, and I just don't understand it. Are you trying to tell me that for Fantastic Four 387, the value of 386 and 388 are completely irrelevant? I don't know, man. Yeah. All right, anyway, let's take a look at what the value of the books raw are. So my algorithm, it says basically all the raws are worth the same at about $1.70. So if you find it in a dollar bin, good job, but it's still not highly valuable. It gets a little more pricey around 9.6 and 9.8. Oh, that's interesting. I'm really surprised though that my algorithm is so steady. I would think that it would be slowly creeping up. All right, next book. What do we got? I like these cases that the my comic shop, it's cardboard that my comic shop puts these in. Secure, and I can reuse them if I'm shipping a comic. Oh, okay. An actual key. I assume that last one was not really a key. Yeah. All right, we got an Alpha Flight #1. Very nice. And a 9.4. All right, well, that's a good characteristics. This is first book we've seen that's not just a minor key. It's a legit key. His first appearance of Puck. First appearance of a bunch of other guys. First solo series by Alpha Flight, etc., etc. So what I pay? $31. Adjusted cost is $35.68. And my algorithm says it is in a 9.4, only starts getting valuable to at 9.6 really. But the pricing services think 9.4s, so my algorithm says I overpaid a bit, and the other algorithms say good job, right on the money for price chart and cover prices over. Let's see, take a look at the lines. Whoa, this one's really weird. Which one is this cover price slab line? Says it's pretty valuable at $39 at a grade 5 and then just keeps going down? Oh my god, that is bizarre. And then only starts popping up at 9. I imagine there aren't all that many lower grade slabs. It's a little understandable. All right, what's the price chart? Price chart's this yellow one. That's more reasonable. It's kind of similar to us actually, though it only pops up at 9.8. Interesting. All right, what do we got next? I wonder what if I already have Alpha Flight. Let me check Comic Connect. All right, these are the Alpha Flights I own. Oh, okay. Yeah, I already have one in a 9.4. So I'll probably put this one up on eBay. And we'll just see. That's really the ultimate test of the algorithms, right? It's not so much a prediction of what I'll buy it for on the individual auction, because that's biased by my own bidding process, but it's kind of a prediction of what I would sell it for. Next one, we got an Amazing Spider-Man, very nice. Amazing Spider-Man 202, 1980. I don't know. Future videos, I'll figure out how to do that better. I guess they would call it a filler, but from my perspective, it's 1980. Spider-Man, Punisher, prominently on the cover. Looks cool. I like to flesh out my Spider-Man collection. And it's a little bit before when I was grabbing comics as a kid, so unlikely to have it already. And I picked that one up for $25, adjusted $28.77. And a little more continuity between the three evaluating price processes. Mine at $35.84, cover price at $34, and price chart at $45. Yeah, we're starting to see it pretty consistently that I start creeping up, but I really don't explode up till 9.6. Interesting. And this yellow one for price chart joins me around 8. There's probably not too many really low slabs, low grade slabs. And then it stays kind of consistent, but it thinks a 9.8 is worth a lot. 900, that seems wrong, man. Yeah, so far I would say my algorithm is not always matching up best on any individual comic with the intuition I've developed by going through these auctions. But it's not being crazy, and both of these other services really are being crazy, both for way too high and way too low evaluations. and inconsistency between grades. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Oh, this is the book I'm most excited about. This is a book that I kind of didn't care whether I got a deal on. I mean, I wanted to get it for the best price I could, but I wanted to get it to keep on my wall. I just love the cover. Just love it. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So fun. I'm sure I can't give it justice. I love the giant dinosaur and the little girl staring at it. I read some of these. Obviously, it's after my time. After seeing the cover. If it's going up on display, it's art. Yeah. I don't need a deal. I only need the price to be reasonable if there's a chance I'll be selling it sometime soon, right? All right, but let's see how I did it. I paid $128, $147.33. By far the most expensive book I got out of this auction. The 9.8, which is a key. First appearance of Moon Girl. It's a fun character. A lot of potential. Even if the Disney show is not great for adult consumption. But I have a lot of knowledge of what it's going for on eBay and such, because I've been looking to pick up a copy for a while, and it was spending a lot of time between $150 and $200, and I thought that I should be able to get it cheaper than that. And it started creeping down now. I think it'll keep creeping down. But as I said, like, this is permanent collection. I don't need a perfect deal for it. Let's see. My algorithm says $248.89, which is just, I know is wrong. I wonder why it's so expensive. I'll have to look into that. Because I've seen it on auction for $130 on eBay. Multiple copies in the $130 to $150 range. Cover price $204, and I know why that seems a little more reasonable for an algorithm to come up with, because there were a fair number of more expensive sales that I've seen, but it's just not. It's just old data. It's just old data, because the newer data, if that's properly weighted, is a lot cheaper, and Price Chart is doing a good job on capturing that. 137.38. One of the oddities I noticed about this book, though, is the lower grade copies and the raw copies are all pretty high. It's a pretty expensive book to get into at any grade, slabbed or unslabbed. So the distribution of pricing is different on this book than most books. And probably that really impacts my algorithm, because since my algorithm is taking into account the entire universe of comics and generalizing from that, it probably has some thoughts about the distribution of prices across grades that work in general, but are not reflected in the purchasing patterns on this book. Right now, we'll see how the book goes in the future. But I'm excited about that one. Maybe at some point I'll show you guys my wall. Let me know if you want me to do a video on details of my algorithm or machine learning process in general, or show off my comic collection a little bit. It's not one of those expensive comic collections, as you can tell from the kind of books I'm picking up. It's just things I enjoy. Alright. This is a little bit older book than the previous ones. For me. 1967, Fantastic Four. Annual 5. Alright. I wonder if we're going to get a decent Black Bolt in the Marvel Universe. It's a 3/5. So really low grade. First really low grade and older book. So good test. Yeah. First appearance of Psycho Man, and more importantly, first solo Silver Surfer story. So it's a major key. I mean, not the most sought after book compared to some giant books, but when I say major key, I mean it's one of the ones that my algorithm is flagged to pay special attention to. I paid $27, adjusted $31.08. So I'm happy to get this book for that price. It's a 3.5. If you were looking at it very carefully, you definitely can see the flaws. But in the slab, you know, sitting on a wall or up on display or just taking a look through your collection, really not bad. My algorithm is saying 75.23 out of 3.5. Holy moly. That is interesting. On previous books, it really didn't get excited till 9.6, 9.8. Everything else was cheap till then. But it believes right from the start that it's a pretty valuable book at any grade, and it is constantly creeping up. It's not just waiting till 9.6. It is constantly creeping up, but kind of linearly until you get up to the 9.6, 9.8 kind of spot. Cover price doesn't have anything for, that's the green, for 3.5. For 4 it says 95, but then for 4.5 it says 33, 37, 30, so the 4 is an anomaly, I guess. Yeah. So it's fun that the cover price valuation is being sucked into Key Collector, but it's just going to say 95 in my collection, and that's not really what cover price thinks, because you know it thinks a 4.5 is 33. So what the hell's going on? All right, price chart. 41. Well, that's more reflective of what I got it for anyway. Still looks like I got a deal. Enough of a deal so that if I were to sell it, I should at least break even with the shipping costs and fees and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the yellow line and the green line kind of correlated at the end here. I differ from them at 9.4. We always seem to meet pretty similarly at 9.8, which is very surprising to me. I would think, I don't know why my algorithm would agree with theirs at that place particularly. But that's awesome. First solo Silver Surfer story is now mine. Yeah, I'm interested in when that character hits the MCU. Not because I'm like excited about it increasing the value of some of my comics, but my enjoyment of the characters really does go up if there's a good MCU appearance. Like, I had no interest in Hawkeye as a kid, and but when there was the miniseries with Kate Bishop, I really liked that, and then all of a sudden I was a fan. I wanted to get Kate Bishop comics. Not even to read, just to look at and remember the MCU miniseries. Oh, this is going to be a good challenge for my algorithm, actually. I don't have high hopes for its accurate evaluation. This is one I just got for the cover, really. I mean, I would like to... I haven't read any of the Kate Bishop comics. Young Avengers, I guess. But I'll read those online. We'll see if I'll enjoy them. But here I got Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, 11 and a 9.8. Ah, you can't see it. Oh, there we go. There's the big boy himself. And I've been getting these timeless variants because I just love the covers, man. I have a signed Juggernaut, super awesome. I don't even know what it's from. I mean, what the book is. I just have the cover on my wall, like art. But it's going to be a super challenge for the machine learning algorithm to figure out how to evaluate things that are just for the cover, instead of the title or the key collector information that's being automatically sucked in. So this is a minor key, debut of new Sharon Carter suit. But I got it for the cover. It's a newer book from 2022. And what's my algorithm say? It says this book basically is practically worthless as a slab, 391 to a 96, where it's 1152. And the one I just got, 1825. I paid $24 for that book. The adjusted value with shipping is $27.62. What are the other services? Cover price, unimpressed, 20. Price chart, 23.5. I did mark it as a cool cover for the algorithm to know, but it doesn't seem to be weighting that at all. My personal experience shopping for these variants is you can get them for $30, but you have to shop around. 24 is a really good deal for one of these in my mind, because I've been hunting them all with some patience, so I see what they go for. It could be that this particular one is not as valued by the community compared to a more popular character like Juggernaut. But even like Electro, Scorpion, I mean, there's a bunch of less popular characters that, I mean, those timeless variants are going, they do go for a little more, just from personal experience, than a random no-name comic. All right, what do we got here? Another cheap book. All right, from my childhood, Thor 352 is another one that I remember it. I got it because I remember it. Good memories. All right, 1985, adjusted price $18.42. See what the online price chart says it's worth $14. My algorithm says it's worth $12.36. Cover price does not have enough data to guess till 9.6, where it's at 32. So let's see the slopes. Mine looks reasonable. The price chart in yellow, reasonable until it gets this weird bump. 9.2 should never be more valuable than 9.4. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over, but it bugs me that much. And then cover price only evaluates at 9.6 and 9.8, which is annoying. All right. A little more. What do we got? We got it? Did we go through them all? I think we did. All right, let's go to the summary screen here. All right, I haven't really looked at this. It's automatically generated. So let's see, for that, a lot of books, which includes these, which I haven't talked about. Like I got 30 Thors. Oh, there's one book in here that I should go over the pricing of. Did it for a friend. Told me she's been looking for this comic for a couple of years and hasn't been able to find it. So here's the book I was talking about. Marvel Team Up 107. This is the first time She-Hulk and Spider-Man meet. Right, so that's another book that is going into someone's personal collection, so you don't have to get a deal on it because it's not being sold anytime soon. Raw. Paid $5.20. To me, it was just a little bit of an overpay. Adjusted cost of $5.99. Grade 7.5. And my algorithm doesn't really think it's an overpay. It thinks it's worth $6.40. Cover price says $9. Well, cover price and then price chart just for all raw books has the same value. It doesn't distinguish. It says $5.89. But 7.5 is middling range, so should be the kind of thing price chart should be more accurate on. Should be way off on a 9.8. It's a 1981 book. Looks nice. I think my friend's gonna be excited. Other cheap books I got. Some of these Contagion books, I haven't read them. Gonna take a nice cover though, huh? The Thing. Inhumans #1. Maybe I'll read these and then put them up on eBay. These are all near mint. If available, I'll read them online, even though I have the book. If there's not a near mint, I might open it up. America Chavez #5. I enjoyed her character in Multiverse of Madness. Infinity Countdown. Contagion 2. This one's not near mint. This is very fine. Well, blunting corners and such. But I got #1, so I might as well get #2. Infinity Countdown #5. I have no idea what Infinity Countdown is. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I just saw a bunch of them in the dollar slot or whatever it was. Another Infinity Countdown #1. It's a good series. Oh, I like this cover for Infinity Countdown #1. Got Wolverine, Spider-Man, like Gamora. Infinity Countdown #30. Civil War 2 #1. Captain Marvel facing down Iron Man. So that's a miscellaneous pile of dollar books. This is some of the early Iron Man. The Iron Man I'm collecting. I'd like to get. It's one of those series where it is actually possible to get like all of them up through. #1's expensive. #2 is somewhat expensive. Like you could get a $50 very good one, for example. And then the rest are not that bad. So for people who like to collect full series, like me, it's doable. I don't get to collect all Fantastic Fours or something, but I get all Doctor Strange Series 2, all Iron Man, probably all Avengers. I'm not sure how much the #1s goes for, but most of them are. Even the early issues are not too bad. My algorithm will use the data from the price of slabs to influence the price of the raws and vice versa. From what I can tell, the other sites don't do that, which is so weird to me. So weird. Given that you can literally turn a raw book into a slab and a slab into a raw book. Iron Man 133 with the Hulk. That's nice. Oh, make a new pile here. Iron Man 138. Let me switch. I should switch views here so you can see better. Oh, that's much better. Iron Man 139. Iron Man 140. 141. 142. 143. 'Kind of interesting cover. 144. 145. I don't have a feel for the condition. They look okay. Like fine, very fine. 140. 155. All right, and then these were all less than $1. 30 random Thors. I don't remember how much they cost. Maybe 50 cents a piece, kind of thing. Six, the Mighty Thor. I don't know what this is. Fear itself. don't know what it's doing in a Thor pack. Thunderstrike, never heard of that. Ultraverse hard case? Alright. Pretty thin book, man. Fear Itself Book 6. I've never gotten one of these kind of value packs. I just assume that they're never a good value. They're the Dark World Prelude? Nah, that's not something I would normally buy. Battle World looks more interesting. The Mighty Thor #6. Oh yeah, I saw this on some of my Hulks. It's got this weird kind of, the cover doesn't quite cover all the way to the edge. Is it because they trimmed it, or is it a binding issue? I don't know. Mighty Thor 40. These are all after my time. Thor was one of my favorites when I was a kid. It's interesting listening to people, 474, talk about the these and thous of Conan and Thor, making it hard to read. I really enjoyed that kind of style. More immersive for me. It's $3.93. It's more my thing. I think I already have this. $3.57. $4.14. Yeah, I prefer from that run, the original run. The rest I might put up on. I'll maybe take quick reads of the rest and then put them up on eBay. $4.46. $4.54. $4.56. Yeah, these original series ones I'm fine with, even if they're a little later than I would normally get. Normally I would get ones that reminded me of childhood, $4.59, or ones that I legitimately liked. $4.48, starring the Amazing Spider-Man, very nice. $4.31. These older books are thinner than the newer books. $4.57, thinner than I remember. $4.32. Supersized, edition $4.50. And it's got that weird cut cover. If anyone knows what that's from, because I'm seeing it on enough books that it is some sort of normal pattern. 60-cent Thor, $3.46. $4.15. All right, this is my genre. I wonder if I have those. $3.46. Dollar books is after my time. Blood Axe. Not familiar with that character. It's an awful lot like Red Skull. Red teeth. Oh, this is an interesting cover. Weird and shiny. $4.75. King sized. That shininess isn't just a trick of the camera. It's there. $4.68. Part 1 of the Blood and Thunder storyline, which is much better in the comics. Right here. Supersized 400th issue. Condition of these books is okay, for the most part. I don't like the ones with the cut covers. It's bugging me. But some are mostly fine. Some a little worse, some a little better. Annual 15. PG 41, $4.53. Kind of cool cover. So that's all the books. So we can go back here to the summary. So the cheap books, which is the cheap Thors, the medium priced Iron Man, and then the middling newer books like the Near Mint Affinities and such. And it cost me $46.95, adjusted price $54.04, so a little more than $1 a book. Overall, I paid $4.20. My machine learning algorithm says what I bought was worth $488.53, not counting the cheap books. So really, assuming the cheap books are relatively worth it, $5.35, pretty good. Overprice. The ones it had considered worth $368. It's missing valuations for four of the slabs. So that plus the cheap book I factor out, worth $487. So slightly good deal. But to be able to resell it and break even, you need at least 10 or 15% probably. So this is still fine. And price chart a little more. Books I got a particularly bad deal on Thor 352, but fine on Thor 341, both CGC 9.4s. Which is weird, right? I paid $15 for one, $16 for another. My algorithm thought they're about the same. But price chart. That's the weird thing. Like, price chart's considering these completely independent books, but it would probably improve its algorithm to factor in similar books a little more. Because one of these two numbers might be right, but they can't both be right for these kind of filler books. All right, another book I did not do well on valuation-wise is my Captain America 11B, which is that cool cover. You can't tell me that's worth nothing. That's awesome. But the market seems to disagree. Everyone thinks I overpaid. They're all wrong! I don't know if it'll make my wall or not, though. All right, books I got a particularly good deal on. Moon Girl. I don't believe that, though. I think that 128 is fair market value. And price chart's right. 128 is maybe a little cheap, but like a few dollars. You could get it at this price chart. Also did well on Fantastic Four Annual number 5, my first solo Silver Surfer. Daredevil 19. Now that I believe, even though things are being thrown off by this crazy high price chart evaluation. An early issue number, popular character, somewhat old. Can't tell me it's not worth more than the price of slabbing it. All right, that's all it for now. See if I can improve the algorithm. So just for posterity's sake, this is version 001. Utilizing a data set of 11,936 point of sales. Bye for now.